Does your life feel like an unsolved puzzle? Every day we go through busy routines, but are we really living the life we were meant to? The life you were born to live is the key to finding the deepest meaning in your life's journey. In this book, you will be invited to dig deeper, revealing the true purpose of life. Do you want to better understand who you are, find your true calling, or experience life with more meaning? Prepare to be inspired, because the life you were born to live will open the door to a greater understanding of yourself. Listen to our exclusive podcast that explores the heart of this incredible book and discover how you can live a life of purpose that you were born to live. Hello everyone, my name is August. Welcome to the Shift Perspective podcast. This time we are going to talk about a book called The Life You Were Born to Live, a guide to finding your life purpose. This book introduces the life purpose system, a method to identify and understand one's life purpose based on numerology. Enjoy.
All right, get this. Today we're diving into the system, right? It claims it can uncover your entire life purpose just from your birth date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like a cheat sheet, but cosmic, And it's all tucked away in your birth certificate.
This is kind of wild, actually.
Right, it really makes you think. And it's all from this book, The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman.
Okay.
And, you sent us excerpts, so clearly something about this whole thing sparked your curiosity. And honestly, who hasn't looked at their birthday and wondered if maybe it means something, something deeper?
Totally. It's like we're hardwired to find meaning even in something like numbers. It's like a very human thing.
Exactly. And this system, it's got roots in numerology, which actually goes way back, ancient Greece, back to Pythagoras and those guys.
Right, the math whizzes.
Yeah. Apparently they were onto something more than just triangles and togas.
Well, let's be real for a sec. Numerology, it isn't exactly like hard science. It's more about self-reflection, a framework to help you think about your strengths, your tendencies, even those challenges we all seem to face.
Okay.
Yeah, and Millman calls those challenges the mountains you were born to climb, which I kind of like. That's a powerful image.
I love that. So less about fortune telling, more about giving you a map to navigate your own life.
Exactly. It's all about understanding yourself better, your inclinations, those potential obstacles you might hit, and how to use all that knowledge to grow. And at the heart of it all is this idea of a life path number, just a single digit, and you get it from your birth date. Each number 1 through 9, they all have their own special energy, their own challenges.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. So it's not just adding up the numbers in your birth date, is it? There's an actual formula.
There is a formula, but it's a little more than just adding.
Okay.
But we'll make sure you get that formula. Don't worry about it for now.
Okay.
For now, let's talk about what those life path numbers actually tell you.
Okay, the suspense is killing me. Let's say I've crunched the numbers. I've got my ancient numerology texts out. What am I going to learn? Is this a broad personality thing, or does it get into the nitty-gritty?
It can get surprisingly specific.
Really?
Yeah, think of each life path number as a personality sketch, It highlights those core energies, the stuff you're naturally good at, but then it also shows you those potential pitfalls, those mountains you might have to climb.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's climb some mountains. Tell me about the ones. What's
Sure.
it like being a one on this life path journey?
The ones, the natural leaders.
Yeah.
They're full of creativity, ambition. They're out there forging their own paths, always driven to create something new. They might even have a bit of that pioneering spirit.
I can see that.
But all that independence, it can make it tough for them to accept limitations, or to be vulnerable. And that's the thing they have to learn.
Right.
That even the strongest trees need deep roots.
Absolutely. We all need support.
Exactly.
Even those trailblazers. So what about R2s? What's their path look like?
So if the ones are out there blazing trails, the 2s are the bridge builders.
Okay.
They're all about diplomacy, harmony, bringing people together, peacemakers, mediators, that's them. Their challenge is finding that balance between supporting others and setting boundaries for themselves. It's like walking a tightrope between empathy and taking care of their own needs.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in helping everyone else and forget about yourself. Okay, so we've got independent ones, harmonious 2s. What about 3s? They seem pretty vibrant.
3s are the expressive ones. Yeah. The communicators, storytellers. They just light up a room with their energy, and they're often naturally creative. I think artists, writers, performers, they got to express themselves.
Yeah.
But their challenge is dealing with their own sensitivity. Struggling with criticism or self-doubt, those voices that can get in their heads.
It's got to be tough to tune out those negative voices. Okay, so how about 4s? What makes them tick?
4s are the architects of the group. They're the builders, the organizers. They thrive on structure and stability. Practicality, dependability. If you need a project done right, you want a 4 on your team.
I could see that.
But because they're so into order, their challenge is learn to deal with the unexpected.
Oh, yeah.
Life can be messy, and for a 4, that can be hard to handle.
That's true. You can't plan for everything. All right, 5's got to be an exciting path. What have they got going on?
Oh, buckle up, because 5s are all about freedom. They're the adventurers, the free spirits, always looking for new experiences, pushing boundaries.
Oh.
They're super curious, and it's contagious.
I bet.
But their challenge, grounding all that energy. They might jump from one thing to the next, struggle with commitment, constantly searching for that next exciting thing.
I can see how that would be exhausting. Okay, so from exhilarating 5s to, what about 6s? What's their deal?
6s are the visionaries. Driven by this deep sense of justice, wanting to make the world a better place. They're natural nurturers. They want to create harmony.
Okay.
But they struggle with accepting imperfection in themselves and others in the world. It's about learning to let go of control.
That's tough. Letting go of control is something I think we all struggle with sometimes. 2 more to go. What about 7s? They seem kind of enigmatic.
7s are the seekers, the deep thinkers, always questioning things, searching for the truth. Introspection, solitude, that's their jam. But their challenge is trusting their gut.
Oh.
They overthink things, get stuck in their heads. They doubt their intuition, which is funny because it's usually spot on.
It's about finding that balance, right? Head and heart, logic and intuition working together. Okay, last but not least, the wise 9s. What's on their path?
9s are the old souls, the humanitarians. They have so much compassion and wisdom. They're driven to make a difference in the world, often through creative or humanitarian work. But they need to be careful about overdoing it. They put a lot of pressure on themselves to make a difference, and sometimes they forget to take care of themselves.
It's that whole you can't pour from an empty cup thing.
Exactly.
Got to take care of yourself to be there for others. This is so fascinating. But before we go too far, you did mention that double-digit life path numbers like 10, 11. They add another layer to all of this.
Absolutely. We're talking master numbers here. They've got intensified energies, unique challenges, often means a big sense of purpose and potential for serious impact. We'll have to save those for another deep dive.
Okay, now I'm really curious. But let's shift gears a bit here and talk about how all of this connects to personal growth. Like, okay, I know my number, I know what I'm prone to, but how does that actually help me make positive changes? So it's like we've got this intriguing personality sketch, right? But how do we take it further? How do we use this life path thing to actually grow?
That's where the laws of spirit come in. They give you the tools, the guidance to deal with those challenges your life path number highlights.
So each number gets like a personalized toolkit. That's cool.
Exactly. The book talks about several laws, but let's look at a couple that really apply here. Take the law of flexibility. This one's huge because it reminds us that being rigid, it can block you from growing, especially those folks who need structure, like our 4s.
Right.
Life throws curveballs, And this law is all about adapting, being like a reed in the wind instead of snapping under pressure.
It's like that saying, go with the flow, but deeper.
Yeah. And then there's the law of choices.
Yeah.
This one emphasizes that you have power in every situation, which can be huge for those who always put others first, like our 2s who struggle with boundaries. This law reminds you, you've always got a choice. Every decision, even the small ones, they shape your life.
It's about owning your experiences. You're not just along for the ride.
Exactly. And get this, Millman even talks about how these principles work in relationships. He has this idea of composite numbers. Basically, you combine and analyze the life path numbers of 2 people to see how they'll interact.
Wait, so there's a numerological reason why some people just click? We're going to need another deep dive for that. But before we get totally sidetracked, let's get back to our listener and that thought-provoking question we promised.
It really is interesting to think about, especially when you see the list Millman gives of famous people for each life path number. You'll have all these amazing artists, leaders, even revolutionaries, all with the same number. Makes you wonder if there's something deeper going on.
Right. Like, are we drawn to certain paths because of these tendencies? Or does knowing our life path number somehow change things? Does it change our destiny or just show us where we're already headed?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think ultimately we have the power to create our own reality. These systems, they're amazing for insights, for reflection, even like a roadmap, but they don't tell you your destination. That's up to you.
Love that. It's a starting point, not the finish line. So to everyone listening, take this life path system, play around with it, see what speaks to you. Maybe it'll confirm what you already knew deep down, or maybe it'll spark a whole new way of seeing yourself, your strengths, your challenges, your path. Happy exploring, everyone.
Being comfortable with yourself is a simple way to be happy. Please comment in the comment section on what lessons you learned from reading this book. If you would like to have the book, please order it from the link in the description section of this video. I take my leave. Don't forget to subscribe to the Shift Perspective YouTube channel. Bye-bye.